G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we're on Hillendale and we've got ourselves quite the game for you. I suspect it may be a certified banger because this one is coming from the EGC Masters Winter Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on Hillendale. Let's introduce our players and get to it in the north of the map. In the colour purple, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, we've got Mcom. And on the south side of the map, in the colour orange, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, it's Killjty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hillendale. A pleasure to have your company. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup and about what we can expect early on from these two folks. Just give me a second. I'm trying to fix up my microphone at the moment. It's dangling down, and I'm trying to get it up a little, get it up a little bit. Anyway, welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company. If you're enjoying this content, please go ahead, leave a like on the video. Definitely helps out with the traction of the channel. Now let's talk about a bit about this matchup. So we've got Holy Roman Empire, Abbasid dynasty. Of course, Holy Roman Empire, infamous for their desire for relics. This never changes. It never will. They'll always want those relics. We do see 5 relics on the map. I was a bit scared at first. I'm like, hold on a minute, where are all the relics on the mini-map? But we do indeed see all of the relics are here. So Killjty will be looking to try and pick those up. And by the same token, Mcom is going to be looking to deny those as much as he possibly can. Now, for Killjty, not the best spawn here today. I think if you're going to be dropping down an Archon, it's probably going to have to be here. And this is, I mean, where do you go? Right here, I think is probably the best spot. It's not the best. You've got the small wood. That's pretty much it. Together with the gold and then the town center. The alternative is that you go for this one. It's at the front of the base, though. I mean, what else could you really do? You could try for something like this, where it kind of buffs up a little bit of the deer on the backside, but not going to be happening. I'm curious to see what route Killjty goes. Meanwhile, on the north of the map, for Mcom, which avenue is he going to look to age up? I would suspect probably military wing is the most common. Does he look to go for a second TC as well? That's going to be another factor. I suspect we probably will. It is going to be the eco wing that he opts for. Very interesting decision. It's been a while since I've seen an eco wing coming out, but it looks like it is going to be the Archon Chapel coming out on the south side for Killjty here. And will be on the front of the base. So always a bit dangerous, always a bit risky. Oh, jeez Louise, talk about sheep. 16 sheep coming through. I think Mcom had a decent number as well. This is EGC TV's Hillendale, I think. So maybe there's just more sheep on the map. What is going on? That's a crazy number of sheep. But is there... Hold on. 16 sheep on this side and 17 sheep over here. So we'll call it 16, 16, 32 times 200, 6,400 food. I guess that's right. I guess I don't know enough about food spawns to know whether that's right, but it just feels like a lot. That's all. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move forward, and we will make our way towards the beginning of this game because Eco Wing coming through for Mcom. So interesting decision. So I wonder if that's going to mean he goes for the second TC. It looks like he will be doing that. So probably going to see what fresh foodstuffs here, or no, I take that back. It's got to be a fertile crescent. There's no two ways about it. So he's got fertile crescent that he's going to be able to pick up, fresh foodstuffs. Also, he should be able to afford that one as well. And then the second TC. So I'm guessing it's second TC into units to try and defend the relic. So most likely the ranged or the cav combo is what we're going to see here. And this is a combo that we regularly see coming out for the Abbasid. It's the classic Camel Archer Horseman combo. It's really nice because it gives you that mobility. It gives you the ability to chase down any prelates that come out here and try and snag away these relics. Now, the relic spawn's actually pretty good here for Killjty. He's got 2 arguably safe relics. This one to the north is somewhat safe as well. H-up now comes through for Mcom, and we do see it's Fertile Crescent together with fresh foodstuffs coming through. Killjty on that south side does get the age up in. Moving a lot of vills over onto wood here. There's no way this is going to be a second TC play, right? Surely not. Killjty ain't going to be doing it. I think if anything, he's going to add maybe a stable and look to go into professional scouts. But even then, he's got an early wheelbarrow. No need for professional scouts here, Drongo, because he's already on the deer pack. That's a good point. But I mean, and you know what? And he's got all of the sheep here. Yeah, professional scouts, I mean, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Archery range, and it's in the front of the base. Have a look at this. Very, very bold. He actually moves it forward quite a bit here. Wants to avoid getting mixed in with these farms. Very smart move. I remember playing the Holy Roman Empire for the first time and building my racks right inside the range of my Archon Chapel and then going, hold on a minute, that's not a good idea. Meanwhile, though, look at this. Killjty's going to get spotted out by Mcom. Now, keep in mind, these players are both very good players. This is part of EGC TV's Winter Masters, and these two players have reached the pointy end of the stick. The winner of this series will go through to the main event. So the weekend that's just gone, these two players were vying for a position in the group stage. The group stage includes players like your Beastie Cutie, like your Marine Lord. Who else is up there? You know, the good guys. Core actually got up there. I'm not even trolling. So the way that they worked it was they took previous positions from tournaments. So people like Marine Lord, who are victors in every tournament. People like Puppy Paw. I think Wham as well. And then they took people that were based on the ladder. So they took 4 people off the ladder. And I think they got like Anatand, Core, and maybe like Louis MT as well, I think was up there. There was one more. They got 4 players from the ladder, but I sort of looked at that and went, holy moly, Core been going ham, dude. He's been eating his wheat picks for sure. That guy's been popping off. But we do see the Archer making its way across the map here for Killjty. Now he's moving into the Spearman upgrade as well, so expect to see a little bit of anti-cav in the business. Hold on a minute. We've got a second archery range coming out. What are we witnessing here? Is this the Holy Roman Empire, the new empire, the feudal age empire? I mean, it's been a while since we've seen this. I actually remember back in the day, one of the very first strats that kind of came out was Hut. And I remember he just went the Holy Roman Empire and he just made 4... He made 4 archery ranges and he just killed you with archers, and it was just mass archers. And I think back then people didn't really understand the whole concept of like, okay, I want to get +1 ranged armor. I think the horsemen were also quite weak back then, if I remember correctly. I think they got a couple buffs along the way. I think originally they had 0 ranged armor and it got buffed up to 1 and then up to 2. And so now we're at this like pretty happy little space where the horsemen do quite well, but back in those days they definitely didn't. So you could get away with a pretty nice archer timing. But Scout's going to spot out the town center on the front of the base. He runs around and sees not only that the second town center is online, but he gets the confirmation on the positioning as well. Mcom now is going to start moving into some horsemen himself. An interesting decision making here from Killjty, not to just straight up move in the castle age and instead look to get units out. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't feel you're playing into the strength of the Civ. I feel like the strength is definitely a lot more, you know, focused on not just getting the relics, but getting them early. The sooner we get the relics, the better things are going to be. And you can already see the secondary wall has been put down by Mcom on the back. Third layer is getting placed down here as well. He wants to rush this bad boy up just because he knows that the enemy's going to break through. Archers will be on this position here, and then he'll be losing that Vil, but it looks like Killjty might actually fall back away from it. No, I take it back. He is going to siege down this wall. You can see he's got the movements in and does spot out the enemy Vil on the backside. Let's see if he's going to realize in time that Vil will go down. That Vil's going to go down. There's no two ways about it. So a little bit of a mistake there from Mcom. He could have just gone back here and still gotten the same value. And now this wall's kind of compromised, right? I'd almost be tempted to bring down 4 or 5 villas and just rebuild this wall. Killjty with a huge amount of infantry on the field at the moment. Hold up and have a look at what we've got here. Outpost on the gold, 5 vils on it as well, 16 vils on food. A fair bit of those going to be underneath the town center. Only a handful back here over underneath the mill. I think it's Castle. I think it's Castle. He's looked to try and put some pressure on early. Okay, into the second town center. Obviously spotted out that his opponent... Where's... Hold on. There it is. I'm like, get out of here. He obviously spots out the eco wing and says, we're going to do our best here to try and cause a little bit of harm. Meanwhile, looks like Mcom is building up those numbers in the middle of the map. Going to pick off the reinforcements. Definitely the smart move. You want to avoid this army connecting with those reinforcements, because that is where it's really going to start hurting you. But the age up about to come through from Killjty. I say about to come through. Give it 20 seconds. Yeah, 20 seconds. 30 seconds maybe, because of the food. But yeah, it'll be in quick. It'll be in quick. Regnitz Cathedral almost certainly here. How's the prelate number looking? He's only got the 1 prelate at the moment, and that's one of my sort of gripes with these kind of play styles. Is I just love the idea of building that second prelate in the transition period, or just before the transition period into the castle age, and just guaranteeing that you're going to pick up 2 of the contested relics. It just feels so good. You can put your army on this one relic, hold it, send a couple units out to this one, send a couple units down over to this one. You can pick up 3 of the relics and guarantee, or at least pick up 2 of the relics and guarantee that third one isn't going to be going anywhere. Look, I don't like your odds when it comes to this kind of relic. You might be able to get it off, but look, I don't think it's going to be likely. Regnitz Cathedral is coming down now. Killjty, he's got the one prelate out, one in the queue as well, and I would be very tempted to bump people out, or bump the prelate out of this Archon. I think this is like mandatory, and I really wish that players did this a bit more, because it's like, you're losing 40% off what? Okay, he's done it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Exactly what he needed to do. It comes out to the right relic as well. Town Center should be going to this north relic. Actually, no, it could come out to this middle relic. I think that's fine. Horseman number's looking good, though, for Mcom. Check this one out. Comes around the backside, looks to try and hit on all of these archers. Archers of his own, though. Working to take out the spears, do a decent job. There's not enough here to hold it. And now Killjty's only got men-at-arms and a handful of archers left. He's actually going to be finding himself in a bit of a hard spot as long as he can snipe this one away. So take the relic and then make your way down towards this angle. You'll be A-okay, but look at all the production on the front. He's intentionally put it in a nice little line here, but there's a chance that Mcom puts the 2 and 2 together and says, okay, we'll put the pressure on, but I think behind this, Mcom might be thinking about going Castle Age himself. The numbers have started to build for him. He's up to 23. Men-at-Arms going to be the choice here for Killjty. Expect to see, there it is, the next upgrade coming through for the Men-at-Arms. Numbers are looking decent at the moment. Remember, only one Ville's been taken out so far this game. Economy 47 against 38. Relics are going to get picked up. Oh, come on, Killjty, get it together. There we go. All right, and is he going to... Oh, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. All right. Killjty, let's see if he fixes it up. Just come down here. Come around, you know, go the long way. Absolutely worth it, especially when there's all these units in your base. But we do see a little bit of a chase as Killjty runs the Vills back towards the town center. Archers, together with the horsemen, chased by the men-at-arms, and perhaps Killjty does make the right call, but it looks like the archers should be able to spot this one out as long as they're paying attention. He's going to do a little bit of a loop-de-loo. Wallolo towards the archers. They're going to make it out the front side. And unfortunately, the prelate is going to be going down. He does bring that relic a little bit closer to base. Second one also coming through. Meanwhile, on the side of Mcom, we don't see any age up coming in just yet. Men-at-Arms now going to start working their magic on these archers. Keep in mind, they've already got that 4 armor in the bank, so these archers are barely scratching them. They've got only 6 damage, so 2 damage a pop, 10 damage from a round of fire from here. That's 16 rounds you're going to need to kite slowly across the map just to take out a single men-at-arms, and that's going to buy you all the space you need in your base to face the truth of the relics and their place, their rightful place. All right, walls towards the front. Definitely the right call. You're up against these men-at-arms. Now, Mcom needs to hit castle because he needs to go into relics, right? Or rather, needs to go into crossbows right now. Very, very important. It is going to be the military wing that he moves into. But normally in this transition period is when we expect to see a lot of production being thrown down. So you are likely to see 3 archery ranges, 3 Raxes. He'll think about moving into Gulams together. Yeah, it's Gulams. Gulams together with the crossbows. That's probably going to be your likely route here for Mcom. Makes the most sense. But we'll have to wait and see what the play is. Meanwhile, for Killjty, we're right on board with him as those relics continue to be gathered up. Prelates making their way across the map. He's looking for it. He's going to try and attempt it. A long-range relic request, a long-range relic retrieval, if you will. We got 3 in the bank at the moment, or at least 2 in the bank. Third one coming through now as the horseman gets chased away by the men-at-arms. That's going to be number 3. Very, very happy. 4th one on the way in, and the 5th one, of course, is back safely behind these walls. We know the truth. We know the reality. This relic ain't coming out today, and you can see that that prelate is going to find out the hard way that we are well and truly walled off in the back there. Ain't no getting through here. I think the only chance you're really going to get this is if you bring all of your army up here to try and siege this down. But even then, I'm going to be honest, I like the odds that Mcom just throws down a nice little monastery at the back and sends out something to go pick it up. Meanwhile, upgrades are on the way through. +2 ranged armor now going to be coming through for Killjty. Is moving into crossbowman himself. So does suspect there may be a Gulam or 2 coming out for the enemy. Meanwhile, Killjty does a little bit of scouting before he sees... bugger. Hey, I'll be honest with you, Killjty. 4 out of 5 ain't bad, my friend. That is more than enough relics to have on a map like this. So now the question is... where does Killjty go from here? So for me personally, what I'd love to see from Killjty, you guys know what I'm going to say, but I'll just say it anyway. Fast Imperial, Swabia, throw it down right here. Beautiful little spot for you. You could probably even go down here. Not worth it though. You just want to keep it in base. And then the cannon emplacement on the outpost. So you throw down the outpost, chuck a few vills over onto the gold. and or rather onto the stone, and that's pretty much it. But we do have men-at-arms towards the front of the base. Killjty still with only 2 men-at-arms in queue, just a couple of crossbows. I think he might be saving. He's got plenty of gold in the bank here, a lot of wood as well, so could be looking at a farm transition. But ideally, what you want to be doing is just going or staggering these outposts. One outpost here, one outpost here. That'll allow you to protect the front and keep the wood economy, or rather keep the food economy afloat. So we'll see whether that's the choice that he opts for, but instead going to make a couple more units here. We do see the two-handed maces are through. Not quite picking up the extra damage on them just yet against heavy units, at least not that I think so. It's not the two-handed maces, it's the axe, the two-handed axe upgrade that we've got here. But now, looks like we've got a couple of vills coming down. He's going to head into the wood line, and slowly, the archers together with the crossbows able to take down these men-at-arms. We can see he's getting rounds of them in. And a little bit of a throwaway right there from Killjty. I much would have preferred that Imperial Age. That's a big economy, okay. When you've got farms that are this far forward, it makes a bit more sense to like outpost here. You want to, as I said, you want to try and stagger them so they're protecting each other, but at the same time protecting more space. And we've got gold veins being expanded to outside the base up towards this north side. All 3 sacred sites now confirmed and held by Killjty. Hopefully should buy him a little bit of time. Potential distraction. Still no vills over on the stone just yet. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna say, like, this is very late that you're leaving it, because you need to throw down that outpost, you need to get the fortification, and then you can get the cannon emplacement. And this is what I'm saying, right? Like, it feels a little bit late that's coming through right now. Outpost is coming in on the front side, but even then, I don't think that's gonna, like, that's not gonna work. This outpost is way too exposed. You need to have them a little bit further back so that your enemy, they just kind of chip away at the enemy army. But we're right on board now with Mcom as the push comes in. He heads into the enemy base. We could see a sprinkled emplacement on an outpost like this. You can see he's struggling to get it up. It's not going to work here, unfortunately for him, as all the vills do manage to take it out in time. Working slowly down. Swabia gets thrown down on the backside. You want to rush that up. That's imperative to rush that one up right now. We need that up. 10 vills? Mate, make that 20. He's got quite a bit of vills on stone as well, so we'll look for fortification on these outposts. Holds for the moment, and Mcom, his economy, up about 28 vills, is definitely in a healthy spot. But remember, that Swabia is about to start trickling out villagers. And when I say trickling, I mean absolutely printing out villagers. It is a scary amount they're able to put out. So just keep an eye on how quickly Killjty is able to recover this economic deficit. Now, 4 prelates are out, with the exception of the 2 crossbowmen he's got. There's nothing else in the bank for him. There's the outpost that's going to get thrown down. Beautiful little position that he's managed to find here. I do like this. I'm a big fan of it. I think I was throwing down like a stagger point like that. Relic to the front. Very, very bold of him to do it. Outpost. We do see sprinkled emplacement going to be coming through for this one as well. Should be able to hold for the moment. It's only ranged unit, so it's not really too much of an issue. Emplacement comes through. Keep in mind it gets that extra damage, also gets the extra range, so it's going to be very difficult to deal with. Sprinkled emplacement on that front now. Going to extend out that radius a little bit more. Might help with the cover fire, but those crossbowmen do get through. Keep in mind he is playing the Abbasid dynasty, so at any point he can drop down battering rams like we see him drop down right there. Wait, did that sprinkled emplacement just kill the battering ram? Surely not. No, he just decided he was going to choose a different spot. Another outpost thrown down. Do we have cannon emplacements? We want to see cannon emplacements together with the fortification. Or the, is it fortification? Yeah, the fortifying the outpost. Fortification of the outpost. All right, sacred site to that west side. Now going to be taken for Mcom. He's playing it well so far, but I want you to keep in mind that villager deficit and the fact that Killjty's been up for about a minute now, and we haven't seen a single villager out of the Palace of Swabia. This is a high-level, big brain trick. You make the Swabia and then you never use it. This is, you know, I think the last video that we posted, I can't remember what number it was, maybe 13 or 14, but it was something along the lines of, who needs villagers? We don't need villagers, we just make military. I don't know if it's going to work here for the Holy Roman Empire, but we'll have to see how it goes. Battering ram makes its way through. Spears are only hardened at the moment, but the hand cannoneer numbers are starting to build here. Mcom in the Castle Age up against Killjty in the Imperial Age. How does he look to play this one out? We'll switch it over to income per minute, get a bit of an idea on where these two players stand up against each other. 1,700, 2,500, 3,200, 3,500 for Mcom. On the side of Killjty, 1,680, 2,400, 2,500. Bit of a difference between the two, that is for sure, and that vill count should start to be sway. It was start to be changed up a little bit here. And look, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I didn't like this relic placement on the outpost in the front. Didn't like the outpost on the front, and that's the whole reason why. Now you've got to recover a relic that's in the front of your base. Like, very obviously your enemy was going to go for it. There's not a lot of depth to defending this. It's very, very difficult to defend it. This one's a little bit easier. Needs to get that fortification sooner rather than later. He's got emergency repairs in play. You'll want to try and keep it alive with that. He's going to need to hit the button. There we go. Repairs are through. He should be able to get the fortification on that as well. Horsemen coming in, looking to try and defend. I'd love to see some vills pulled right now. That would definitely help out, especially with the Swabia online. He can afford to lose a couple. Emergency repairs is through. Cannon emplacement is online as well, and it looks like the hold is going to be in. The picture perfect, pixel perfect hold that we've got. There's the vills to complement it. Absolutely perfect stuff coming out from Killjty in this game up against Mcom. Keep in mind, EGC TV will be on again this weekend. I don't know what video this is or when it is coming on, but 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. You better check it out, all right? I'm leaving a link down in the description, so you go check it out. Go check it out. Normally, this will get posted about 2 hours before they go live. So just keep that in mind if you're watching. You know, watch this vid, then go check them out, because they're going to have a lot of good games. And one of these two players is probably going to be playing because, well, one of these two players will make it through to the group stage. I don't know whether both of them will. I don't know if it's possible, because this might be, because the way the group stage works, or rather the way the qualifying stage works, is they had like 2 different days and you can enter on both days. So if you don't make it on the first day, then you can get through on the second day. And this game's from the first day. So who knows? Who knows what happens? Anyway, Killjty now looking to make some moves around the outside of the map. We can see a single relic has been recovered, but that secondary relic towards the front is still yet to be taken. Elite upgrades for those horsemen are on the way through. And it looks like we've got a stone wall. Was this count? How did he even... This was just really good timing on the stone wall. He was like, okay. I mean, even if he didn't make that in time, like, you just... Look at the horseman. The horseman just gave up, dude. I'm like, no, we can't do it. Relic gets brought back, thrown into the outpost. Well done on the timing of that one. Where are the units here, though? Where are the units? Emergency repairs has come back in. As long as you're focusing down these range troops, I think you should be okay. Now the horseman numbers are starting to build. In fact, maybe do you want to go for the front line instead so your horsemen can clean up the back? Maybe that's the play. You're going to get more value on that back line, though. The Ghulams, of course, a little bit tankier and subsequently going to die a lot more slowly. But now beginning to work it down. We've got the second cannon emplacement firing off, and this is exactly what you want. He's got him right where he wants him, in between the crossfire of the 2 cannon emplacements. Emergency repairs did come through on that outpost. He's going to look to come back and try and hit these rams. Remember, the rams go down and the outpost stays alive, and then you should be absolutely fine to survive this. Vill's going to be on the move out towards over on this east side. Springwood emplacement also covering. You can see he's got that triple crossfire. Who needs units when you have got all of these emplacements? Killjty still holding on for dear life. The Rams have gone down, and with that, the hope for Mcom to finish this game here and now vanishes. What a beautiful hold once again from Killjty. But you know what? I feel he's being haunted right now. That Swabia has definitely cost him a little bit. Had he had vills being produced, now keep in mind, Palace of Swabia produces a villager every 7 seconds. So you're talking about, what is that? 1 village, or you're talking about 9 villagers a minute, basically, every 63 seconds. So for him to be idle on that Swabia for so long means that his economy is really behind on where he should be. I don't know how long he was idle for, but if I had to guess, I'd say between 60 and 90 seconds. So you're talking somewhere in the region of maybe 12 to 14 vills, somewhere in that region. It's a lot, and it adds up over the course of a game, especially in a game like this, where it's so important that you've got vills at the ready. But right on board now with Mcom, and check in with how he's doing on the north side of the map. Stone walls have come up completely for him. Still in the castle age, quite happy playing it out from where he is. One little opening is still subject to a potential run by. Always got to be very careful. Oh, okay. Now we're starting to look scary. 24 minutes into this game, and Mcom's doubling down. He's not just doubling down, baby. He is quintupling. No, sextupling down on the battering rams. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Okay. Just making sure. Why is it sextupling and not sixtupling? This is a shower thought we've got. Anyway. More upgrades on the way through from Mcom. Have a look at this. We've got veteran horsemen coming through. So, potentially thinking about raids as an option. I don't know if this how long this outpost is going to hold. We'll wait and see. Needs a relic in this outpost. I don't know why there's no relic in this outpost. Oh my god, he should have had a relic in this outpost an hour ago. Look at the range on this. It just sits right outside where your units are firing. The relic will push it that distance, and it gives you so much extra coverage. He's got to look to hold, though. Elite Horsemen are doing a decent job here. He's got a couple mangoes in queue as well. Emergency repairs on the outpost is giving him great value, and you were seeing the true defensive power of the Holy Roman Empire in its final form here. This is absolutely beautiful stuff. But the mass continues to build for Mcom. Keep that in mind. The economy for him is pumping. He's got production out the wazoo. If we take a look into the base, you can see just how much he's got going for himself. It is a lot in the way of production now. Continuing to add in mangonel. We don't see the adjustable crossbars just yet. But the outpost does go down. Now, keep in mind, now that this outpost has gone down, this relic is easily recoverable because of its proximity to the main base. But this is part of the reason why I was definitely talking about that outpost earlier on. This one right here covers the front as well. You stick the relic in, and now you've got that sort of triple crossfire going. Absolutely chef's kiss. It's beautiful. It's what you want. And it's just one of those little things where it's like, you know, we could have got this easily. We could have got this 7 minutes ago, and we would have been so comfy. So outposts are one of the most powerful tools that you've got as a Holy Roman Empire player, and we do see Killjty using it to great effect in this game. It's just we don't see him using it enough. It's one of those things. Was it the game that Core played? I don't know if you guys remember. There was a game about 200 videos ago that Core played where he literally held on against like 80 military units with a single outpost and emergency repairs. It's incredible how much work they can do, but have a look at this. More and more units beginning to make their way across the map. We're right on board with Mcom now, as he could look to snipe away some of these relics. We see 2 on the ground, and more battering rams making their way through the base. Emergency repairs on the outpost might be necessary here. Still no fortification on it just yet, and the cannon emplacement's going to mean it's extra valuable. Another mangonel gets popped out here. He's really holding on for dear life in this situation. Killjty does not want to give up. He does not want to surrender. He wants to take this one all the way. That is for sure. And he is holding on as hard as he can. Now, do we see more religious units across the map, or at least coming across the map? It doesn't look like it. Has he got them sitting out on sacred site? Oh, we've got a sacred time. I didn't even realize we're 7 minutes to sacred victory at the moment, so Killjty might have to think about making his way out across the map soon. All right, well, it's been a slow burn here. The outposts have all gone down. With 6 military units in the bank, this could be it for Killjty. There's not a whole lot left he can do. He's down on the Vil count. He was never able to really recover on the Vil count. And you can see the reason why. 52 workers taken out this game. So credit where credit is due. He would have been even Stevens right now with Mcom if it weren't for that fact. But unfortunately, his enemy has done very well to keep that Vil count down. Relic going to be moved a little bit further away. What's your play from here? How do you even try and recover from this? Your enemy is literally maxed out. 200 population. A minute 40 to go until that age up comes through. He's got to opt for the culture wing. No trade wing just yet. And now the horseman number is going to start to build inside the base. He's got 5 at the moment. Does he look to readjust? A lot of houses down towards the south side. He's got 190 pop space. Swabia is still alive. So realistically, I don't even know how you hold on to this. I'm curious to see what Killjty will do. How he's going to act. Because you've got to remember, these are tournament games. And the thing about tournament games is people are a lot less willing to give in. A lot less willing to give up. And the battering ram's now going to start coming out for Killjty, or rather for Mcom once again. And the defense, non-existent for the moment. Now, keep in mind, emergency repairs comes through from both the town center and from the Palace of Swabia. So he could look to just avoid using it on the main TC and focus instead on the Palace of Swabia. But I think you just want to try and exhaust your enemy as much as you can. He's got a nice little spot here. Town center firing down as well. Vil's going to be brought in just to help out a little bit more. Doesn't look like we've got any assistance from any emplacements here. It's just units, and he's getting overwhelmed once again. Meanwhile, he is trying to make a play on the other side of the map. What do we got here? Is this the way that he gets back into the base? Siege, or back into the game? Siege Workshop together with a keep in a forward position on the berries. Walla attempt. He's trying to get the relics out of here. He's going to find... He finds it. Oh, he steals away a couple of horsemen here. Now, they're technically elite upgraded. They've picked up all the upgrades from the elite upgrades. From his own upgrades. and chases down the battering ram. Very well done. You got to give respect where respect is due, and that is definitely one of those cases. Meanwhile, Culture Wing does come through on the side of Mcom. Another Wallolol attempt. Not going to find anything this time. And how does Killjty hold from here? I mean, it's got to be something to do with this, right? This has got to be the way that he comes back into this game. Battering ram has opened up a new frontier. Another keep coming up for Killjty, so he's looking to try and control the map, despite the enemy being quite literally in his base, killing his dudes. Killjty's like, no, not gonna happen. Well, Mcomi's actually gonna be the one with the nose today. No emergency repairs, keep that in mind. So we are out here all alone. No assistance from the TC. Look at the amount of keeps that are across this map. Killjty has just been working it on the stone vein. The stone vein? The stone mine? I guess the stone mine. Stone outcropping. We could go with that. There's very little left on this map. 2,400 here, 2,400 there. A little bit left on this one. 170. A couple 1,200s dotted. That's about it, though. Meanwhile, more units to the front. All right, Killjty. If there's ever been a time to lift, it is right now. How does he pop? I honestly don't even know how you'd pull this one back. We're 30 minutes into this game. And it feels like if I had that percentage meter, remember how sometimes we talk about percentage meters with like victories and chances to win? You would have to put Mcom right now at like a 98% chance to win. Sacred Site does get neutralized though. He did have the triple threat on the Sacred Sites, but was mainly just using it for gold. Battering rams together with the crossbow is going to start moving up. What elite upgrades have we got so far? No Ghulam upgrade, no crossbow upgrade. He's going to start moving into Culverin. Elite Horseman is the only upgrade that we've got on the side of Mcom at this stage of the game. A couple more units in queue here for him, and he's just going to look to siege down the keep. No cannon emplacement, no boiling oil. It's a raw keep out here in the middle of the map, just doing what it does best. Standing tall, standing strong. Keep comes online as well for Mcom over on this east side. And now the Culverin out. Keep in mind, both of these civilizations have access to the Culverin. Emergency repairs available for the Regnets. It is starting to burn now. A lot more units on the way through. Killjty. 9 spears. Maybe Mangonels. I think Mangonels is probably the way that he gets back into it, but he needs adjustable crossbars. To be honest, it's so interesting to me about like the small decisions that we make and the consequence or like the outcome of the game, right? He chose to put the Archon Chapel in the front because it hit the berries as well. And he did grab the berries. But the process of doing that and not putting it in the back is now all your farmland is on the front. So it means you lose a lot of vills to these raids, you lose a lot of vills in these fights, and it idles you out. Had he put this on the back, makes it much easier to defend. Combine that with the fact that there was a lack of outposts with cannon emplacements early enough, meant that he lost a lot of tempo. And to me, it feels like, had he just changed those two little things, had he just put an outpost at the back of the town center, had he just put relics in the outposts, had he just put his Archon back a little bit further, it could have been a different game. It could have been an absolutely different ball game. But have a look at this. Military count starting to feel a bit better for Killjty. He manages to spot out the Culverin and swoops around taking them out. He's going to get one. Maybe. He gets one. He gets one. He gets one for his hard work. That's it. Loses a lot of horsemen for it, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're delaying the enemy. The Culverin are what are going to finish us off, right? We're going to lose our landmarks. We're going to lose our emergency repairs to this. We need to make sure that we take those Culverin out because they're the wrecking ball that is going to ruin our day here. A lot of vills over on this stone. Once again, Keeper's gone down towards this central location. Just destroyed keeps absolutely everywhere. And now Killjty rises back up with that vill count. He's about 50 vills behind his opponent, but he does have the relics, or at least he's got 3 relics. He did lose one of those relics that got sniped away. I think this one potentially was the one that got taken. I don't know exactly, but I think relic distribution has definitely been a critique that makes a lot of sense, right? Like these relics could have very easily been back over here by now. How many prelates are we running? We're only running the solo prelate setup, so it does make it difficult. We're not using the TC for anything. We could have got one out of the Regnants anyway, but look, it's a small detail now at this point, but 34 minutes into the game, Mcom is looking to get angry. And Killjty is looking to get even. Have a look at that military count. He's found a way back in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not over until that fat lady sings, and I can assure you right now, she is very quiet. She is minding her own business. She is not singing. That is for sure. Emergency repair is not going to come up in time. He's taken out one of the Culves, but two remain. A little bit of a shuffle towards the front. What do you even call this when you kind of get boggled down on the backside? Emergency repairs. There, he's got the option. He could look to try and get that repair through. Vills are going to be coming through, and you can see back towards the other side of the map, there is still action going on. Looks like a Springald attacking a building, so I take it back. That ain't action, but Killjty. Speaking of action, have a look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. You were wondering, where is Killjty? There's your answer. It was looking like it was going to be GG for about 10 minutes back there, but Killjty got the message, hey, brother, you got to start making some units. And make units he did. It took some time, it took some patience, but he's done it. Hand cannoneer numbers are starting to build for him as well. He's up to 10 hand cannoneers. Horseman rounding the corner, looking to try and connect with the ranged units and the culvert. Elite archer upgrade through. Boiling oil working its magic on the keep here. You got to be careful about going too far under. But the archers, keep in mind, they've got plenty of upgrades on the way through. Boot camp together with those combos. You can almost guarantee they're through. Indeed, they are. He's also looking to pick up camel support. Don't mind a little bit of extra armor for my... Jeez, that Springald emplacement was ridiculous. It says 9 tiles of range, but that looked like it had to be at least 16. Can someone measure that? That's the dead unit. That's the that's the range on your keep. That's the dead unit. I think he may have locked on right there. Keep coming up in the front of the base. He can move these relics over as well. I'd love to see another prelate trained from the town center. He's got a little bit of resources in the bank. But this is a lot that we're missing out on. Did he not pick up Tithe Barns, by the way? Where are our relics? He's apparently got one somewhere. I did see him try and sneak one out. Yeah, it's over here. Yeah, he's got Tithe Barns. Okay, he's got Tithe Barns. We're okay. All right, well, immediately looking to try and pick up the cannon emplacement. Emergency repairs is in play. Hand cannoneers firing from underneath the keep. Still no boiling oil despite 36 minutes into this game, and the massive utilization of keeps would have made all the difference in these fights. But unfortunately, the cannons at the back are just doing absolute work. He's using, or rather losing, all these hand cannoneers underneath the keep. The boiling oil could have made a huge difference here, but unfortunately, the elite archers are just getting off so much damage onto these troops of Killjty. And once again, Mcom takes the lead. In this game, he's got a military pop of about 60, more than triple the enemy, and continues to push the agenda as the units begin to rally across the map. Springald emplacement just working its magic, and the score lead begins to build well and truly. Take a look at that score coming through right now for Mcom. He is up about 4K. We'll give him 4K. 4.5K. It's rising rapidly. Now, when it comes to score, normally you look at that and you say, yeah, don't look at that. But in this circumstance, I'll let you look, because I think that this is a pretty good sign of the state of things. Killjty definitely looked a bit scary there for a second, but it looks like Mcom, he found his footing. He shot back a couple punches. Now, here we go. This is a story I can get behind. Still no adjustable crossbars, as you wouldn't expect a man of Killjty's wealth at this point in the game to have. You know, he's got other things to worry about, like farms and houses. Meanwhile, Mcom just continues. Look at the amount of units he's got in queue right now. 19 Gulams, 18 Camel Archers, 15 Archers, 25 Horsemen. Just all of these units in queue, ready to pop. He's never going to hit below 198 pop, because it's just going to constantly reinforce from that main base. Every time a unit dies, another one is rebuilt in its place. And now 38 minutes into the game, he will be forced back away from it, but Killjty is having the tough fight right now, just simply because you've got that constant attrition that you're going to be fighting up against. And now a relic snagged away by Mcom. That's going to be 3. A little bit of a wallaloll. He saw the horseman running towards it and says, no, don't even try. Actually snags one, takes it out. He's max population, so instead of snagging it, he's just going to kill it instead. Oh, gee. For anybody who doesn't know what the word snag means, it means in that circumstance to take it or to steal it. You know, Australians have got special words for it, all different things. I saw a meme about it. where, you know, it gets to the point where you've got words for absolutely everything that you just shorten it. So, as an example, if you get into a car crash, you get into a bingle. If it's a small one. If it's a small one, it's a bingle. We've got an insurance company in Australia. It's called bingle. That's how much the word means to us. You could also say that you got into a prang. That's another word that you could use. Hopefully that's not a slur and YouTube doesn't demonetize me. You know how those folks are. That'll be a slur in Vietnam or something, and they'll just be like, hey, don't say that word in these parts. Anyway, Killjty, he's struggling to keep his head above water. 104 population for him. 40 minutes into the game. You can see he's got plenty of resources in the bank, but it's only wood. Still no adjustable crossbars just yet. He's beginning to rebuild on the enemy side of the map behind the stone walls. Well, behind segments of the stone walls. Some of the stone walls just never got built. And look, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Your Vils, they decide to move on to greener pastures. Now, I think for Mcom, the best thing you can do in this situation is win. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the game. EGC TV's Winter Masters coming at you. I think it's Masters Winter, but I don't know. Winter Masters feels more natural to me, so that's what I'm going to go with. Anyway, I'll leave a link down in the description. Go check them out this weekend. 15 GMT. That's 2 a.m. for you Australians. Anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.